This episode, we're going to review Buffalo Trace Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Here we go. All right, this week I'm excited because I've been looking for Buffalo Trace bourbon for quite a while. It shouldn't be as difficult to find as it apparently has been. Got a lot of friends that really love this. This is their daily drinker, and I've been searching for it. It must be something about living in the middle of Iowa, getting just what would be a normally standard bourbon. I tried like 2 liquor stores, and then I went to go buy milk the other night and found it in a grocery store. And not just any grocery store, a Fairway grocery store. They're not even open on Sundays. But they had the liquor I was looking for. Fairly affordable. I think this went for about $34 US. I have not tried it, so this is actually going to be a first taste kind of deal for me. I've let it sit here and opened up just a little bit. Oh wow, I tell you, the nose on that. Oh wow, that is beautiful. A little hint of like a sugary, almost like a maple. It's got some legs on it. It looks like it's fairly viscous. I'm kind of excited about this because hopefully that'll mean that there's going to be kind of a creamy flavor to it. And there's something else in there. I don't know. We're going to try it here in a second. It's kind of interesting. Buffalo Trace is distilled in Kentucky, right? And it is a member of the Sazerac family of liquors. They also own, like, they're all across the gamut. They own Blanton's, the Van Winkle line, Fireball. It's pretty crazy all the different things that they own. They also own Southern Comfort, Stag, Weller. I tell you, I'm clearly in the wrong line of work. If they're looking to adopt, I would gladly forsake my entire family because they're probably not worried about Christmas this year. That is a lot of different liquors that they're responsible for distilling. Buffalo Trace is straight bourbon whiskey. I love reading the backs to you guys. This is always... The ancient paths of countless buffalo led America westward. Legendary explorers, pioneers, and settlers alike followed these trails, known as traces, through rugged wildernesses to new lands, new adventures, and new-found freedom. One such trace, called the Buffalo Trace, crossed the Kentucky River at a spot just north of present-day Frankfort. Early pioneers settled here in 1775, and with plentiful, pure limestone water and rich river bottom loam for growing exceptional grains, distillation quickly followed. With an unparalleled reputation for creating outstanding bourbon whiskey, the Buffalo Trace Distillery today stands as one of America's oldest distilling sites. The bold heritage of the mighty buffalo and the individuality and pioneering spirit of those early Americans are again found in Buffalo Trace Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, the very finest bourbon created at the Buffalo Trace Distillery. Traditionally handcrafted, Buffalo Trace has a smooth, confident taste that invites discovery with every sip. Explore Buffalo Trace and taste the spirit of legends. I like the bottle. Good lines. All right. I like the presentation. And seriously, look at that guy. Look how beautiful. It's kind of got a little bit of a glare there, but look how beautiful that buffalo is on there. I love it. It's so pretty. And I also like the way the labeling is. It looks like it's torn from a book or something. It's pretty cool. We're looking at 45% ABV, so solid 90 proof. I'm very interested. They say, let us hear your thunder. www.buffalotrace.com. Great bourbon at buffalotrace.com. I might email them if I like it. Distilling in one way or another began in 1858 in Leestown, Kentucky. The nose notes are mint, vanilla, and molasses. So I guess the molasses would be where I'd be getting the maple from, because to me, like, maple syrup and molasses have a similar thing going on. I know molasses is more of a darker, browner, grainier, sugary type smell, but yeah, it is really, like, the nose is very soft. You don't get that alcohol-y, ethanol type burn to it when you... Yeah, I'm very excited about this. I think this is going to be good. I think it's been opened up enough that we'll try it out a little bit here. Holy shnikes. That is incredibly smooth. Oh God, we're in trouble. Oh my gosh, that is delicious. So I think they claim like a brown sugar toffee, mint on the nose, brown. I don't really get the mint on the nose, but the brown sugar toffee, and then anise, which is like an herb that's supposed to resemble black licorice. Luckily for me, I do not taste any anise in there because I, mother humping, hate black licorice. I don't like Jaeger because it tastes like black licorice. Also, it makes you black out and die where you lay. And then I just don't like black licorice jelly beans. I don't like black licorice Twizzlers or whatever the heck. But this is delicious and it warms you up. Oh, there I might have got a little bit of the black licorice taste, but it's really not that overpowering. It just kind of sits there on the front, and then by the time you get it to the back, it's gone. It is a little bit more viscous. It's got a little bit more leg on it than the Woodford and the Old Forester, so it's got a little creamier mouthfeel. And I don't mean flavor-wise, I mean texture-wise. It's a little creamier and slides a little cleaner, which is very interesting. Holy shit, Nikes. Woo! That is good. Oh, man. I've been really lucky ever since getting into whiskeys that I have yet to have anything that I really don't like. The Tullamore was the closest to something that I wouldn't traditionally seek out. But even that was good, and I can't wait till summertime so I can sip some of that over ice out on the patio when it's warm out, because I really think that fruity citrusy will be great. But this is a good winter whiskey. This makes me happy. It's got the same amount of oakiness, I would say, as like the Old Forester 1910. A little less oakiness than the Woodford, but man, it's just balanced about perfectly. I almost feel like I'd be doing it as a service by trying it on ice, but I really want to try it both ways, right? Are we out of the neck yet? I've heard about this neck pour stuff, and I don't give it a whole lot of credence, but gosh, that's a pretty label. I think by far, the Woodford bottle so far is my favorite, but the Buffalo Trace labeling is probably my favorite. The Tullamore is very unique in that it's, the font and everything, but this Buffalo Trace is pretty cool. Again, pretty much a generic whiskey bottle. You can find 20 different whiskeys bottled in that. All right, let's try it on ice. Let's see what we come up with here and see. Oh gosh, I'm dripping all over the place. Oh no! Oh yeah. Woo. Woo. I peed myself. Oh. All right. I really need an ice bucket. This is ridiculous. All right, so we got a little ice in here. Not a freaking animal. I have a coaster. All right. All right. A little sloppy pour. I need to get some spouts, I think. I'm just not great at the pour. Desk is going to smell like booze. It's going to smell like a cheap bar in here. By cheap, I mean spending hundreds of dollars on whiskey to do a free YouTube channel. It's ridiculous. All right, I'm going to let this sit in the ice a little bit, chill it off, and see if it opens up different flavors for me. Generally, what I've discovered is I do prefer the bourbons on ice, and I know that a lot of people think that that's like some kind of sacrilege, but I find it really opens up the flavors. Wow. Brings out a little bit of the oakiness, but it does, strangely in this instance, it tamps down the flavor a little bit. Ooh, I really get that molasses on the nose once the ice gets in there, though. Holy crap. Almost smells like, not ginger snaps, but those molasses cookies. The brown molasses cookies. Oh, yeah, that's pretty. That's pretty. Let's see it. All right. Ooh, it's winning me over on ice. It really is. All right, so let's tear this down a little bit. All right, so starting with price. Right around the $30 price point for a 750 milliliter bottle of the Buffalo Trace. Really reasonable. Happy with it, especially for the price. Can't really go wrong. $30 bottle of whiskey. Presentation, boom. I love the labeling. I love the buffalo. I'm sorry, the American bison on the bottle. Hey, I just don't think American Bison Trace would have the same ring to it. So I do like the bottle. It's a pretty generic bottle, but the labeling itself is pretty amazing. It's a corked bottle, which I prefer. I don't like the twist off ones. Something about it just feels cheap to me. It's a tight corked bottle. The literature on the back is kind of fun. Gives you something to read. Well, if you're sitting alone drinking, which apparently is what I do now. And now that I have it, so that's presentation. So we're going to go with price. I will give it a solid 9. It's a really reasonable priced bourbon, especially for the flavor. It's a good full-bodied flavored bourbon for about $30 a bottle. The presentation of the bottle, I'm going to give it, just because of the label alone, it's going to get an 8.5 to 9. Presentation. I mean, it's nothing like overtly unique. It doesn't have like a unique stopper on the top, and it doesn't have a unique shape to the bottle really, but man, the labeling is pretty amazing. So we'll go 8.5, 9 just for the style of labeling, the fact that it's not traditional. Okay. And then flavor. I tell you, once you get that ice on it, it takes any spiciness off it that it had before, which it was pretty smooth. Once you get that ice on it, wow. I almost used language that would be uncivilized. Man, I'm going to go with a solid 8.5, 9 for flavor too. I mean, it does not disappoint. It's smooth. You get a little bit of that brown sugar, a little bit of that molasses, a tiny bit of oakiness. I don't get the mint at all on the nose that they claim. I just really don't. I don't pick up any of the mint. But again, I have to acknowledge that my palate and nose are still developing. And I have to keep stopping myself because I'm I guess what you describe as a super smeller. So my nose is super sensitive. And what I'm always afraid to do is to breathe too deeply through my nose because I'm always afraid I'm going to catch a smell I don't like. If I'm in public, get crop dusted by somebody who's some kind of animal in public that loves to pass gas when you're at a public place, or just get by someone with bad BO. So I've trained myself to shut my nose off. So it has to be a concerted effort. Oh, there's that, yeah. There's definitely that molasses. Oh, for sure, yeah. And so I have to train myself to get that real deep processing smell, which is tough for me. I still don't have any of the mint. I definitely get the brown sugar, the molasses, maybe a little bit of the top. You know what? I get the toffee on the back end. Like, as I work my way through the nose, I get toffee at the end. So, and I'm not a huge toffee guy. I'm not like a Heath Bar guy, but I do enjoy the smell of toffee and the kind of a finish on the nose. And mostly get the oakiness and the flavor there really after giving it a little good swish. It's not as full-bodied once you get the ice in it. It definitely breaks down the viscosity of the bourbon, and it doesn't have quite that same mouth-coating feel as it does when you drink it neat. But, I mean, either way, still give it an 8.5 to 9. So for price, we're going to go ahead and go with a solid 9. Presentation, 8.5, 9. 9 for the label, 8.5 for everything else. And then for flavor, I'm going to go ahead and give it a solid 8.5, 9. Nothing chases me off of it. I could see this for sure being a daily drinker, especially because I finished off my Woodford. If I'm putting the Buffalo Trace up next to the Old Forester, I'm probably going to give the Buffalo Trace a little bit of an edge. We might do a head-to-head in a couple of videos because I want to start deciding if there's a winner chicken dinner or if they're just different enough that it just depends on your mood. But I really, really do enjoy this, and I'm glad that I gave Buffalo Trace a try. Again, that's bottled it's owned by the Sazerac family. Buffalo Trace, bottled in Kentucky because it's a bourbon, 45% ABV, 90 proof, and it is not going to kick you onto your ass. It's really not. It's smooth. It's not beating me up. Doesn't make my ears too hot. I really do enjoy this, and I would recommend Buffalo Trace straight Kentucky bourbon whiskey because it's delicious.